are in Turin, Italy.
This was the first capital of Italy. It's a city full of grand architecture and a variety of museums.
This is the home of Fiat, Nutella, Lavazza, and the Shroud of Turin.
And it's a great destination for foodies and art and history lovers.
In Turin, we talk with some locals.
È il locale di cioccolato artigianale. Questa è la mole fatta in cioccolato.
Including Davide of Podcast Italiano.
Interesting because this building is actually... This is big.
And small travel.
We are in Turin.
Italy.
Turin is located in the northwesternmost part of Italy, close to the Alps and the Italian and French border.
Turin is the capital of the Piedmont region.
We're going to be showing you in this video what we did in Turin in about 2.5 days.
Turin is Italy's fourth largest city.
These are our highlights, including where you can get the best view in Turin right here. Turin was the capital of the Kingdom of Sardinia Piedmont.
And the home of the Royal House of Savoy.
It was significant in the unification of Italy.
This video you're going to see us talk to Davide of Podcast Italiano.
And he's going to show us some of the must-see things to do.
Turin was Italy's first capital for its first 5 years.
Turin's history begins in 218 BC with the Torini.
The city dates back to Roman times when it was founded in 28 BC. Turin today is known for its architecture, like neoclassical, and especially a lot of Baroque.
We took the train to Turin from Milan.
You can take fast trains from all the major Italian cities.
We have arrived in the region of Piedmont on our way to Torino.
Another train, another video on Italy. We're on our way to Torino, or otherwise known as Turin, in Italy, in the Piedmont region of Italy. This is our first time in this area, in this province of Italy. We're taking a train from Milan.
We're in Torino for a very brief trip.
We have arrived in Turin. Now the adventure begins. We are in Torino, Porto Susa.
Cheers.
We are in Turin. Turin is the name in Piedmontese, the dialect here. In Italian it's Torino. This is northern Italy, known for its wider piazzas, plazas, and grand architecture.
Turin is an industrial city, and it's also where you can find one of Christianity's most important relics.
The Lingato factory in Turin is where the iconic Fiat 500 was born. At one point, it was the largest car factory in the world. Fiat is still headquartered in Turin, where many of its cars are still produced. And it is the place for Lavazza coffee, premier chocolates,
Buono.
and even live music.
We were here for Johnny Marr to watch him live.
It's such a heavenly way to die.
And we also saw some local Turin bands on the street. Turin also has the most important Egyptian museum outside of Egypt. In the center of Turin, this is in the shopping area, and we're at a coffee shop here for coffee made in Torino And it's also the home of Lavazza here, so it is a coffee town, coffee city.
Costadora Coffee, the home of Lavazza, Turin, but don't forget this brand. And the cafe is really nice. You have a lot of different types of coffee, beyond, of course, Italian-style coffee.
So Turin, like we say, is not a tourist spot. So you'll be one of the very few tourists here. We're in Piazza Solferino.
Big?
Well, hello. This is the Po River, a very important river that goes towards Lombardy, out towards Emilia-Romagna. This is one of the key features here in northern Italy. We're in Torino, walking along Parco Valentino.
So this region, Piedmont, is really known for its specialty chocolate, and there's supposed to be some great spots in Torino to get some good chocolate. I am on the tram in Turin. There are many tram lines throughout the city. The city is actually much bigger than you might think it is, if you want to go beyond the center.
Explore Torino. This is the Italian risorgimento, excuse our pronunciation, about the unification of Italy. Torino was the first capital of Italy. It was capital for, I believe, 4 years.
This is another big, magnificent palace here in Torino. And at the top, it has Vittorio Emanuele II. Now, if you've been to Italy, that name probably sounds really familiar because usually the main drag or a main street in a city is named after Vittorio Emanuele II. Now, the statue you just saw was the King of Sardinia, and Vittorio Emanuele is his son.
Turin's predominant architecture style is Baroque and Art Nouveau and Neoclassical.
You'll see a lot of this in the neighborhood called Crocetta.
We are in Piazza Castello. This is the centerpiece of the squares here. 4 roads converge here. Po, Pietromica, Roma, to Rome, and Garibaldi.
One thing we like a lot about Torino is there seems to be a lot of these big open spaces, a lot of outdoor cafes. So it's a great spot to go and get a coffee, chill out outside.
Hi guys, I'm Davide from the channel Podcast Italiano. I teach Italian and I'm from Torino. Well, not actually Torino, but still very close by. And we're in the beautiful Galleria San Federico. And I think we're going to do a tour of some of the nicest places in Turin. That's it.
Perfetto. We're going to tell you something really cool, or weird, or interesting about Turin. Take it away.
Yeah. So that building right there is really strange if you look at the architecture of the city. And it was actually built during the fascist period. And that's why it's called Il Dito del Duce, or the Duce's middle finger. The Duce was Mussolini, Benito Mussolini. And people in Turin never really liked this building, and you can see why. But it's now part of the history of this city, despite not being very, very cool looking.
Some dark facts.
The middle finger right there. All right, we are in pretty much the center of Turin, and so tell us where we are and what
Yeah,
we see here.
we are in Piazza Castello, and the castle, if you're wondering, is I guess we can't see it from here, but it's interesting because this building is actually one half is a more modern building, but the other half is a true Middle Age castle built in the Middle Ages, medieval castle. So that building is part castle, part.
This is the Castello, the castle, and you see Emanuele Roberto. He led the Italian Third Army during World War I.
That's the royal palace, Palazzo Reale. That's where the king used to live because Turin was, before becoming part of Italy, was the kingdom of Savoy, and actually was the kingdom that basically created and unified Italy in the 19th century. And Italy was actually the first capital of the Italian state when it had a king for 5 years, I think. Yeah, that we don't have a monarchy anymore since 1946.
We are in another beautiful piazza here in beautiful Torino.
This is Piazza Carlo Emanuele II, and it is one of many, many very big piazzas throughout Turin.
Very characteristic of the city here. And it is a beautiful winter day.
Everyone is out. It's a Saturday. It's beautiful. Great to be in Turin. We are at Ristorante Alba, recommended by Davide, and we are of course having the wine of the region, Barbera. So we actually saw the table next to us order this, and it looks pretty good. It's actually stuffed artichokes, and it has bread and cheese, and I believe some other herbs in there.
Yum, yum.
This is salsiccia de Baroque, which is near to Turin in the Piedmont region. So that's where the sausage is from. And just on a plate of beans. Pretty simple.
I'm a very big pasta fan, and this is really, really good. Fine, fine, fine. Piemontese food. Bologna, as well, Turin have a lot of arcades.
An arcade can create walkways and offer weather protection. An arcade is a structure made of a series of arches supported by columns or piers.
The interesting thing about these arcades is that they never stop, so they're continuous from here, the palace, to the whole river. Either Turin or Bologna that have the longest, the highest amount of arcades in terms of distance. The square itself is tilted this way, and so the length of the columns increases if you compare the beginning.
Turin has nearly 18 kilometers, about 10 to 12 miles. 18 kilometers, that is a lot. And about 12 kilometers, I guess about 8 miles, are continuous.
Portici is the word for arcades in Italian.
Ok, ci troviamo da Estrus, è il locale di cioccolato artigianale. Questa è la mole fatta in cioccolato e di là abbiamo la mole e il duomo fatto in cioccolato.
All made of chocolate.
Chocolate made.
Mole Antonelliana is the undeniable symbol of Turin. Designed by Alessandro Antonelli, it was intended to become a synagogue. When it was completed in 1889, it was the tallest brick construction in the world. Today it houses the Turin Cinema Museum. Okay, where are we right now?
We're in Monte dei Cappuccini, which is one of the best views of Turin. And this is definitely one of the places you should visit if you come to the city, in my opinion. Superga, which is a famous basilica with another great view of the city.
Vittorio Veneto.
Pretty huge.
Piazza Vittorio is the main square of Turin and the biggest in Europe. completely surrounded by arcades. This square was initially dedicated to King Vittorio Emanuele I.
What is that?
This is called bicerin. This is a traditional hot drink native to Turin, the Piedmont region. What is it made of? It's a hot drink made of espresso, drinking chocolate, and whole milk. Let's have it.
We are in the biggest piazza, Vittorio, Veneto. I'm having the Barbera wine, and this is from the Piedmont region, which is actually highly underrated as far as Italian wine regions, but it is growing in popularity.
This is the Campari Spritz. Here in Turin, you definitely had quite a historical anecdote because one of the first aperitifs, an aperitif is this, could be a stimulant, alcoholic stimulant, before you eat, was here. It was vermouth. So it all connects here. And here's our food. Here's our food.
This is an aperitivo plate, so you get 2 drinks, a drink a person, and then you get this big plate of food here. Kind of a interesting combination. There's lasagna, farinata, polenta, potatoes.
We're on Palazzo Reale in the center of Torino, trying to see the real Shroud of Turin.
The Shroud of Turin is considered one of the most mysterious and talked about relics in Christianity. The first documentation of the Shroud was in 1354. The shroud, or cloth, that appears to have an image of Jesus. Some believe this is the actual shroud that Jesus was buried in. The shroud was acquired by the House of Savoy in the 1450s and has been in Turin's chapel ever since.
So what we've noticed is Torino is a great spot for foodies. I'm just grabbing a farinata snack. Now this is from Liguria. You'll see this in our Cinque Terre video. And there's a ton of places to eat, cafes. I think this is really one of the best things about Torino so far. Another chocolate shop founded in Turin, similar to what we saw in Perugia, which is these kind of older chocolate companies still holding on. And actually, Turin is home of Nutella.
Nutella is owned by Ferrero, the second biggest chocolate producer and confectionery company in the world.
This may be one of the best chocolate shops. This is Chocolate 7. This is hazelnut, cacao, and sugar.
Sugar, exactly. Only 3 ingredients.
From France. Buono.
The Madonna degli Angeli behind me originally started construction in 1631, or founded in 1631. That interior was pretty cool. Never seen anything like that. It looked like an upper viewing area. Wander around Turin. So many places to eat, drink, the history here. It is Italy. So it's just everywhere around you. The shops here are very interesting. Always in a room and always time for vinyl.
From Via Mercanti, arrivederci. Let's check it out.
Turin Cafe.
A lot of outdoor cafes here in Turin.
We like them a lot. Big and small. We love sitting outside in a cafe, sipping on coffee. I could do this for like a couple hours every day.
Home of Lavazza, we're gonna have some Lavazza coffee now.
Vegan food in Torino.
Eggs and bacon. For more traditional options, Alvej bicerin. Quite a mix there.
You're in Turin. This is the buffet style aperitivo you want. It is amazing. This is the place.
We are in Parco del Valentino in Turin. This is a very big park along the river. This is Parco del Valentino. These are lampposts in love. This is also behind me where the medieval town was built for a previous expo, and they've just kept it up here. Coffee again.
Okay, positives, I'm having coffee by the river. This is the River Po. Let's take a look at it. And we're listening to perhaps Italy's biggest pop star right now, Annalisa. It is crowded. It's Sunday. Parco Valentino Park here in Turin.
Walk around, Turin has plenty to offer.
Another great museum in Turin. This is Museum for Photography, and it looks like it was in an old elementary school.
This is the Turin Gallery of Modern and Contemporary Art.
Turin has a lot of interesting museums. Of course, there's the second biggest Egyptology museum of artifacts from Egypt. Where are we?
This is a palace within the university. This is the Santa Rita market. It's quite a big market here in the neighborhood of Santa Rita. Okay, quick tour of our apartment
Look at these lights.
in Torino.
And look at that picture. This is a really pedestrian-friendly town. And most Italian towns are pedestrian-friendly, but this town is even more friendlier than the average. So that says a lot. We'll try tomorrow. It's our last day. These stand-up bars.
Thank you for watching. If you've been to Turin, please comment.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Grazie mille.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Ciao.